Hi, here's personal growth strategy number 3. Listen to understand. There's a huge difference between listening to form a reply and listening to really understand what somebody's saying. Think about when somebody gives you their undivided attention and they actually hear you. How how great is that feeling? I mean, that's showing respect. That's showing you care. Okay. Joseph Pline summed it up in a great quote. He said, the experience of being understood versus interpreted is so compelling, you could charge admission. It's that good. Yeah. So, but there's some challenges with listening. There really are. I mean, I could tell you, I thought I was a good listener. When I got other people's perspectives, I found out I wasn't always a good listener. Here's part of the reason. Average speaking speed is somewhere between 120 and 180 words a minute, right? Depending on how fast you speak. We can comprehend somewhere between 400 and 800 words a minute. Really takes a wind out of the sail. Somebody saying, oh, I'm sorry, you were speaking too fast. I couldn't keep up. It's more like, I didn't give a crap about what you were saying to pay attention. That's the reality. Average people listen at about a 25 to 33% efficiency level. That's about it, right? 10 minutes after we hear something, we remember maybe 50%. You want to increase that? You want to get better at that? Let me talk about this. If you want to, I want you to think about these 4 steps. These are the 4 steps to improve our listening skills. Number 1, releasing. Whatever's already in here, we need to get rid of, because it's not about us. It's about them. That's why we're listening. In other words, we'd look it up on Google or something, right? We're listening because they have something we can use, right? Or trying to understand them or whatever it is. So be 100% present to that individual. I remember one time in leadership, I had a large department, and being 100% present was tough. So I gave them 5 minutes. I tell you what, I'll give you 5 minutes of my undivided attention. And I needed to schedule that, because if they got to me and I was in the middle of something, I'd say, hey, I can listen to you, but I probably only give you 50% of my attention. But if you give me 10 minutes to wrap this up, I'll give you 5 minutes of my undivided attention. Most people chose option B. Yeah. Suspend our agenda, resist distractions too. I mean, it's hard, right? Squirrel, we get off, but resist those distractions. What does that say? Is that more important than the person that's actually speaking to you? I mean, your phone, put it on silence, put it away, put it someplace else, whatever it is. Don't interrupt. It's hard sometimes because some of us like to talk, but don't interrupt. Okay. And then stay open. They may have different opinion and thoughts that we don't agree with, but we need to stay open if we want to understand what those different ideas and thoughts are. We just might learn something. All right. Step number 2, attending. Okay. Make sure you orient your body towards listeners. Say, yep, okay, I got you. Or what do you got for me? Big difference, right? Put yourself in the speaker's place. Try and understand why they came to you for this, what they're trying to get across. Okay. Maintain appropriate eye contact. And what I mean by that is there's some people that are freaked out about a stare down, real direct eye contact. So if you notice somebody looking away during that, right, it's not always a sign that they're not telling the truth or they're afraid. There's some people that are just not as outwardly outgoing. They're a little bit more introverted. They don't always like that direct eye contact. Okay. And then probably the thing that's helped me the most, take notes. And I might even start the conversation. Okay, we sit down. Do you mind if I take notes? Right? Because I want to remember what was said so that I can, follow up on it. That's step 2. Step 3 is amplifying. Once we've gotten the information, encourage the others to continue. Did we get to the root cause? Did we understand them completely? Make sure we did, right? Some people are real easy. My daughter, one question and I could get a lot of information. My son, I could use open-ended questions. How was your day? Fine. Well, So what'd you do? Nothing, right? Not bad or that he isn't, but that's just his style, right? And there are people like that. So like slow down your pace, ask the question. I really want to know, how was your day? Right? Ask clarifying questions just to make sure, and then build on the other person's thoughts. Oh, okay, that reminded me of something. Have you ever, right? As long as it ties into what they're talking about. And the last step is reflecting. Summarize what you heard. Here's what I understand. Okay. Contrast or differ, construct like, okay, I hear you, and this is what you're saying, but here's how I see that situation. They're coming to you for a reason. Note the speaker's feelings and their nonverbal clues. Nonverbal clues can be somewhere around 55 to 70% of the message. I'm not angry, right? You're angry. That nonverbal clue will tell you that. So important to ask some great questions and to really listen. So what happens when we don't do this? Let me share this story for you. I like stories. As two sisters and one orange. Each one wanted an orange, really bad, important things that they wanted, and they were talking at each other. Nobody was listening. Nobody was asking questions. So finally, they came to a point and they compromised and they cut the orange in half. And as one of the sisters walked away and she started tasting the sweet segments of the orange, she turned around to see her sister grating the peel for her muffins. Both sisters could have got 100% of what they wanted if they would have released their own agenda, attended towards the other person, understood and amplified and asked the right questions, and then summarize. Here's what I heard. Okay, go ahead. Use this for grading, and then I'll take the segments on the inside.